Hello and welcome to all students. This is SYBSC class, SYBSC semester 4, paper number 1, calculus 4, and unit number 1, Riemann integration. And today we are going to see about some properties of Riemann integration. So our first property of Riemann integration is is if f is Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b and c is greater than a, less than b, c lies between a and b, then f is Riemann integrable on closed interval a comma c and f is Riemann integrable on closed interval c comma b. Also we have the integration of function f over the closed interval a to b over the interval a. Also the integration of f over a to b is equal to integration of f from a to c plus integration of function f from c to b. Okay, so this is the first property of Riemann integration. Let us go to the second property of Riemann integration. Okay, second property says that the integration over a to b of the function lambda times f is equal to, here lambda is any real number and the value of the integration is equal to lambda times integration over a to b of the function f. So this is very common property of this Riemann integration. Now the third property of Riemann integration is third property is if f is Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b and g is also Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b, then the addition of these two functions f plus g is also Riemann integrable on closed interval a comma b, and the integration over a to b of the function f plus g is equal to integration over a to b of function f plus integration over a to b of function g, means integration of addition of two functions is equal to addition of their integration. So this is our third property of Riemann integration. Now let us go to the fourth property of Riemann integration, and the fourth property is if f is a Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b and if f of x is greater or equal 0 almost everywhere on closed interval a comma b, then what happens, then integration over a to b of the function f is greater than or equal to 0. So this is the fourth property of the Riemann integration. If the function f is Riemann integrable on closed interval ab, and if f of x is greater or equal to 0 almost everywhere on closed interval a comma b, then integration of function f, the value of integration of f over a to b is also greater or equal to 0. So this is our fourth property of the Riemann integration. Now let us go to the next property of the Riemann integration. Next property means fifth property. Fifth property says that if f from if f is Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b, and g is also Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b, and if f of x is less than or equal to g of x almost everywhere on closed interval a comma b, almost everywhere on closed interval a comma b, then what happens? Then integration of f of x over closed interval a comma b is always less than or equal to integration of g of x over closed interval a comma b, a to b. Okay, so this is the fifth property of this Riemann integration, and let us go to the next property, property number 6. Property number 6. So property number 6 says that if f is Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b, then what? Then mod of f of x, mod f function is also a Riemann integrable function on closed interval a comma b, and mod of integration of function f over a to b, this value is always less than or equal to integration over a to b of mod of f. Okay, so this is sixth property of Riemann integration. So all these properties of the Riemann integration all these properties of Riemann integration are very much useful while solving the examples. Okay, so now let us try to solve one example based on this properties of Riemann integration. Okay, so let us write one question. Write down question. Prove that prove that 2 pi square upon g prove that 2 pi square upon g is less than or equal to integration over pi by 6 to pi by 2 of 2x upon sin x dx less than or equal to 4 pi square upon g. Okay, so let us write the answer of this question. Okay, answer the function sin x, here the function used is the sin x function. The function sin x is increasing in the interval with minimum value with minimum value sin pi by 6 is equal to 1 half and maximum value sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. Okay, let us write here the function sin x is increasing in the interval closed interval pi by 6 to pi by 2. Okay, so let us try to draw the graph of this sin x function, or it's not necessary to draw the graph. Okay, so is increasing in the interval this with minimum value with minimum value sin pi by 6 is equal to 1 half and maximum value and maximum value sin of pi by 2 is equal to 1. Okay, therefore we can write the sin x function is greater equal 1 half and less equal 1 in closed interval pi by 6 comma pi by 2. Okay, and this implies that if I take a reciprocal, then we will have the reverse in the inequalities. 1 upon sin x function will be less equal to and greater equal 1 if I take the reciprocal. Then just multiply by 2 in this inequality and what we get is multiplied by 2x. Just multiply by 2x and see what we get. So this implies that we get on the left hand side 4x greater equal 2x divided by sin x and greater equal 2x. Okay, so we have this thing and take integrating this inequality over pi by 6 to pi by 2. Integrating, just write here integrating over pi by 6 to pi by 2, and this implies that integration of 4x over pi by 6 to pi by 2, and it is greater equal integration of 2x divided by sin x over pi by 6 to pi by 2 greater equal integration over pi by 6 to pi by 2 of the function 2x. Okay, and if we calculate the value of this integration separately, these two integrations separately, we will get the value of this integration to be 4 pi square upon 9. Okay, and this is greater equal integration over pi by 6 to pi by 2 of the function 2x upon sin x greater equal, and the value of this integration is 2 pi square upon 9. Okay, so by using the property of the Riemann integration, we have proved the required inequality. Okay, so this is the proof, and this is the end of this lecture, and thank you very much. Thank you. Let us stop here.